Alright, here we go, YouTube. Bringing you today's catch up. Looking at a capture from Hubble, Mr. MRMBB333. Mr. MBB333. We're not going to watch all that. Got another one from Fox News. I want to show you. That'd be more than 4 hours ago by the time you see this. We keep an eye on the sun and what it's doing. It affects our weather here on the planet. Right now, we're still monitoring the solar prominence. That's what you see here on the. We're going past the solar prominence. Okay, these are the earthquakes over Yellowstone, though. The caldera on some of the sides of the grass, but not all. See a little bit of magma intrusion here and there, especially at the lake over here on the northeastern side. See some unusual activity on the northeastern side of the lake, but for the most part, pretty quiet. But anytime you have activity at a supervolcano, you got to keep in mind it is a supervolcano. Coming over here to poweroutage.us and covering the power outages. 20,000 customers without electricity in Michigan as we are approaching a week. How's that for crazy? This event occurred. At one time, there were over 850,000 customers without electricity as Michigan and many of the surrounding states around Michigan went through some severe thunderstorms about a week ago that created a and they still don't have power outage event. Michigan still getting the power back on with 120,000 customers. See, this is that sandstorm I was talking about. It's supposed to be causing the red in the sky. I don't think so. I think it's Nibiru. I mean, that could be contributing, obviously. But that's part of what's causing our weather in the first place. Wow. So the plume is growing. It's definitely not getting any smaller at the moment. Seems to be. Now, how does a sandstorm even get that big? All right, here we are. Hubble 2021. They just got this. There's that little capture right there. That little black image. Everything's lit. Everything looks wild. It's all good. That's what it usually looks like. And then bam. Right there looks out of place. We're going to zoom in. I'm going to do some enhancement work on that object, whatever it is, but in slow motion, and try to figure out what we're looking at. Yeah, he's zooming in, as you can see. Put off light. It appears to have some darker points on the edges of this thing, whatever it may be. Something appeared in the field of view of the Hubble Deep Space Telescope. Everything else you see are stars way off in the distance. This thing here appears to be, with respect to the other stars, fairly close to the Hubble Space Telescope. I've done some enhancement work to some of these still images, and here we go. This one here, I just simply darkened up the color, and you're going to see some darker points on the edge of this object, whatever it may be. Here it is, simply inverted. Light is dark, and dark is light, and you can clearly see this thing is not putting off any light at all. Everything else is putting off light. The darker points are bright light. This is dark, so it's appearing white in this particular image. Here's another enhanced image, and I want you to pay attention to these edges. There are circular, darker points on the edges and along this tail-like structure, whatever this thing is. I have no idea, guys. This is a new one for me to understand anything quite like this. It just looks out of place. Certainly not a background star. Okay, here we go. We're starting to get into these images that showed something like here, 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 and then there's 2 points back here that are darker. I don't know what that means. He's talking about the bumps. Different than the rest of the entire structure. They're darker points of interest right there on the edges and along the back tail feature. And here's what I've done. I've circled those areas. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 obvious ones. There might be another one here, and there might be another one there. Could be maybe 6 or 7. Don't really have any idea how big this thing is, as gauging depth perception here is a little bit difficult. It appears to be obviously closer to the Deep Space Telescope than the stars, but I don't know how close. I mean, this thing could be way up in the distance and be quite large. Then again, it could be much closer to the Space Telescope and not be quite as big. Really small. But there's clearly something in this image that was returned by one of the finest satellites mankind has ever made. the Hubble Deep Space Telescope, something appeared in the field of view back in March of 2021. Also in this video, I've got a brand new picture slideshow.
2021. Okay, we're going to go ahead and stop that there and jump over here. Forgive the appearance. This is NBC. Or Fox News. What does that look like? Tesseract. That's Tesseract Cube. Oh, look how plastic this guy looks. Oh my God, this guy is disturbing. What is wrong with you? Oh, there we go. Tesseract. Ice my behind.
Take a look at this video. Just 12 minutes after the astronauts left planet Earth Friday morning, part of the Falcon 9 rocket separates from the Dragon. That's when some kind of object flies between the two. Take a closer look in slow motion. But what exactly was that object seen early in the flight? Sources telling us it appears to be ice from the liquid oxygen in that rocket.
That's
But
ice.
this morning, no official confirmation.
Right. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. And I'm going to call it good, YouTube. You can see as it travels through. Yeah, and then they reunited. This was yeah, right there. Good morning, America. And the other one again was Mr. MRMBB333. Anyway, that's our UFO update that I was able to catch for today. Included Yellowstone, a little look at the sun. There was a small spike in the Schumann, and we're pretty much caught up with the day. Thank you, YouTube. Good night, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be, wherever you are when you see this. Matthew out.